In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create your own book cover that looks professional and is ready to publish in less than 30 minutes. Let's hit it. Let's launch BookCoverly, and in the new, we're going to select a new book cover. Type in your dimensions. This one's going to be 6 by 9 inches, and there's a place where you can generate based on your page count, but for now we're just going to type in 0.5 inches, RGB color mode, 300 dpi, and we're all set. And here is our canvas. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to import a front cover image. So I'm using Unsplash for this, and I really prefer Unsplash over any other platform just because I feel like it's the safest to use. I always select the free license, and here we'll do portrait view, and I'm looking for a beach scene. This is going to be for like a women's literature, so we're going to keep it kind of minimalist, clean, maybe a little provocative. Yeah, the single beach chair at the beach. Love it. Let's use this one. So we're going to download this image and import, and I'm going to check the aspect ratio lock just to maintain the size dimensions, and this is going to take over the entire front cover. Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's gonna look good. Okay, now let's work on the title. I think I'll use a couple different fonts for this title, and I want to match a sans serifin with a whimsical font, so let's work on that. Change the leading. All right. So again, we're keeping this minimalist, but you really don't have to do a lot of bells and whistles to create a very professional, clean, successful cover. So let's work on the rest of this title. I want to do something fun, something that helps punch out the title, because you want the title to be the first thing people see for your book cover. So we need to make it fun. We need to give it that fun flair. Change the size just a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to make it all white, just so it fits in with the beach scene. And I'm going to introduce another color that will just help really punch that title out without being too overpowering. So let's do, I want to go for a coral look here. Alright, yeah, perfect. So accept, and then we're going to stretch it out just a little bit. Place it right there in the middle, and then this is a little tight, so I think we're going to tweak out the leading just to stretch it out. Here we go. Love it. I love the style. All right, I want that to stand out just a little bit from the blue sky, so we're going to apply a backdrop. It's not really a shadow because it's not blurry, but it's just enough to give it a slight 3D look. Now we're going to put in a bar at the bottom with the author name. And again, I don't want this to be too overpowering, but we're going to keep it with the color of the ocean. The opacity of this, just so it's not too stark. All right, let's see. Yep, looks good. Type in the author name. And today it is Tula Steel. Tula Tula. Apply. Center. And let's try 48 point. Loosen up the letters a little bit. That might be a little bit too big. Let's reduce that size. Okay, yeah, perfect. All right, stretch it out just a little bit more. I'm going to change that to white, just so it's consistent with the title. There. Okay, now let's add a little graphic element right above the bar. So we'll select bar, and then we're going to make this really, really thin. And I'm going to change that to coral to tie in with the title a little. Brings it all together. That's really what you're going for. All right. Let's work on the back cover. And I already typed in the copy. So let's change that to Avenir. That's sans serif. Keep it very clean. I'm going to make the tracking 1 and change the leading to about 4. And it's justified. So it's flush on both sides. Looks good. And the reason that I use a little bit looser tracking is just so it's a little bit easier to read. It's not so tight. Let's do a title. I'm going to make this that whimsical new font. Center. Not sure about the size yet. We'll see how that looks. And the ocean color. Let's apply. Okay. Looks like it's a little bit too big. Let's reduce that size. Oh yes, looks good. I like it. The healing powers of the sea. Yes, very true. Okay, perfect. Now let's work on a barcode. And you're not going to need this for certain platforms, but for the ones you do, it's a really nice feature to have. You just enter in your ISBN, and this is a fake one, by the way, and an optional price. You don't have to enter in your price. The first number is your country code. So let's fit that in there. Looks good. Now let's do the publisher information. And for this, I want to use a different font just because it sets it apart from the actual cover design. It's more of the business area of your cover. Make that Helvetica. And you don't want to use too many fonts with your cover. It can be disorganized. You really just want to stick with 2 or 3 at max. Unbold that. Look at this stretch that out just a little bit. Yeah, looks good. I like it. Perfect. Okay. So now let's work on a review from the New York Times because this cover is so amazing. But this is just to show where you would put your review. It really looks the best if it's at the top of your front cover. That's where people are going to see it. So, and you want to set that apart with a different font. I usually like to use a serifed Book Antiqua italic. That sets it apart. It's a little bit too big. Reduce the size of that. And you want all your copy to stay inside of the yellow dotted line, okay? Because that is your safe area for printing. So let's tweak everything. Looks good. Okay. Let's duplicate the title, and now we're going to use this for the spine copy. So let's type out the entire title, change the size, make it a vertical orientation. Leading doesn't really matter. Tracking will stay the same. Let's see how that looks. It's a little bit big because you want it to sit comfortably within the boundaries of your spine. So reduce the size. That looks good. I like it. Let's make it all in caps. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now let's work on the author name. And I want this to be a little bit smaller and bolder. And that might be too small. Let's enlarge that. Change the tracking a little. Okay. I don't think that's going to fit in very well because there's something else I want to do to that spine. So I'm going to remove the first name, tighten it up just a little bit, and yeah, perfect. That looks good. Okay. Now let's do something kind of fun. Okay, so don't forget to save your file. I had to learn this the hard way a few times. But always save. You're good to go. Okay. Let's find that icon. A little hut with palm tree. And we're going to put it right inside of the text box. And then what we're going to do is apply a code so it indents. So you would type in bracket indent and then the number or the amount you want to indent it. In this case, it would be 50 points. So that moves the line of copy. And then you're going to copy and paste that on every other line that you want indented. There. Fits in quite nicely. So now we're going to duplicate that and place it in the spine. See how fun that looks? so now we're going to duplicate the image, apply it to the back, and set it all the way down to the bottom, like so, and then we're going to change the opacity or transparency, whatever you want to call it. That just kind of gives it a nice, easy flow, and it looks better, I think, than just having a full color front cover and then a really stark white back cover. It kind of brings the design together, I think. All right, now we're going to generate to a PDF. And voila! What do you think? I think it looks good. So now we're going to export it to ebook, and you can type in the resolution you want, the size, and if you want to show a front, spine, back, or any combination, browse to find a place to save it and export it. It takes less than a minute, and it's ready to go. And there you have it. I hope that this tutorial has been helpful to you, and please, if you have any questions at all, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I will have many more tutorials coming up. Thanks for watching. See you soon.